Hi everyone, it's May 1st, giving you a tour of the garden. We had a hailstorm yesterday, and it ended up damaging a lot of things in the garden. As you can see, the canopy was one of those things. We had about quarter-size hail yesterday afternoon, evening, but it has been raining and the weather's been nice, and things have been coming up, so here is an update. Okay, so damage report, things like the succulents were dented and broken, which kind of makes me sad, but they will come back. In this corner, we've got 2 mushroom blocks awaiting being broken up. Got some veggies hanging in there, still kicking. The mirror that is making the cardinals crazy for whatever reason. Lots of tomatoes, pomegranate tree, passion fruit. I've got acerola bushes, beans, a replacement loquat, more tomatoes. The tropical area is starting to fill in nicely. Kind of backs up so you can see that. So the red bud putting off a good amount of shade these days. Up in these 2 larger containers, the hibiscus did not end up coming back, so I went ahead and put castor bean plants in these, and then also one in the very far corner to the left, a little tiki man, so that in the next month or so should fill out nicely. I've got the amaranth and other little nicely colored things, the bench, etc. So sorry, gonna zoom out there. So with this area, everything's taking nicely. The pear trees, of course, lots of leaves. The grasses I had to replace just because they really just aren't coming back. So replace those. Everything else seems to be coming in nicely. We're even getting lavender blossoms, which is a first for me and very, very nice. Okay, now, so on the far right, those perennials are starting to come back in this archway. So this is a fairly new arch. I also put in lights. We have the blue potato bush on the left, the tibushina on the right. Those are coming up. Lots of white flower perennials like salvias, etc. on the left-hand side. This is all berries and mint on the right-hand side. The mulberry is already producing and was cut back drastically last fall, if you remember. So that's doing very nicely. Fig trees are coming back up. I installed lots of different types of salvia and sage, as well as some gardenias, hoping that that will all fill in. Here's the other fig. As we're coming down here, I did add a clock at the end, just as a nice focal point. The potting bench getting lots of use. Little greenhouse, still trying to figure out the temperature in there. Lots of greens in the garden. This is a $4 Goodwin lavender that I rescued from H-E-B. It was just looking sad. These are, as Sabina's mom called them, fence managers, fence hangers, that I just put on there as a way to get things off of the ground, because that was taking up floor space. So putting them up there, trying to get some extra herbs growing. The clematis and passion vine are doing very well. That's them starting to go up this archway there. So mini meadows coming along, definitely getting a lot of grass coming in, unfortunately, so I'm trying to pull that up as we go. On the left-hand side, you can see 2 of the mammoth sunflowers are starting to come up. None of the ones on the right came up yet, so I might have to replant those. Other than that, I have in the far corner a baby mountain laurel that I'm going to tend to, and hopefully, I've had it for at least 6 months now, babying it, so hopefully that'll continue to do well. Okay, on to the flower farm of sorts. So we've got the Vitex, the Chase tree, definitely coming back. I'm trying to get it to branch out more so that will give me a little bit of shade in this corner. Lots of happy mint here. A little bit of rosemary. I tucked in the corner there, hoping that will keep going. This is my special two-tone autumn sage that I like so much. Anise, the pink beard tongue. I'm not positive what this one is. The gladiolus. Lots and lots and lots of comfrey. More gladiolus. More hyssop. And then this has definitely got a lot of damage from the hail. This was the beans and the rest of the bees' friend, and it really got tattered. So that's kind of sad. One thing I wanted to point out, I'm super excited about, is I have frog fruit coming back. Let's see. Here's a good spot. Yeah, my frog fruit's coming back. I planted several sprigs of it last spring. It's doing well. Hyacinth bean, a little baby. This little pot has holes in the bottom, so I'm hoping that it will just root down into the ground. This is basically where the morning glory was before, and it did really well. So hoping that will climb up this side, and then I'll cut back the beans, and there's indeterminate tomato plants in there as well. Lots of extra pots. Little composter going on this side. Some new pots gifted from Spina's mom. Kind of just, it's always evolving. Always evolving. This is that, I think it's a Mexican marigold. I always forget which one it's called. And some nasturtiums I've shoved in here. Coming back, nice perennial. More nasturtiums. Columbine, hyssop, more columbine, baby carrots. These carrots are literally like only ever going to get that big intentionally. This is New Zealand spinach. Supposedly does really, really well in the heat, so it's not a true spinach, but we'll see how it does. Some yellow tomatoes. This is my Monarda, and you can see all of this is in this one tiny little pot, but then it rooted into the ground, so it was fine until the other day. It got really windy, and it fell over, and this whole thing just drooped and was very sad. So I put a tomato cage around it to try to stabilize it and help it roots back in, because it's quite a thing. It's probably 3 feet tall. Little flowers and herbs and things tucked in. I really wanted to have mint basically at like shoulder height everywhere. Oops, sorry. Because I love being able to go through the garden and smell mint at shoulder height. So if I had it my way, these would be everywhere. The lime tree hasn't come back yet. A little disappointed there. I'd have to buy a new one for Sabina. Let's see. More comfrey. The beautyberry. This is one I'm a little bit stumped by. So this is where the, what's it called? Moringa was last year. And it seemed to die back. Okay, fine. So I planted some white night blooming Nicotiana seeds, and I transplanted them, and so they're itty bitty things. They're just not really going. And then I saw that this thing is growing. I don't know what this is, and I'm wondering if it might be the moringa coming back. Oh, well, I guess not. Coming back from a root ball. Nope. Not sure what that was. Oh well. Anyway, I won't even bother editing that part out, because who cares? So, I don't know. I might end up putting something else in there. So yeah, everything's Much more green, kind of coming together. Hope you get to visit sometime soon. Happy May.